Hey guys, welcome back to Our Vision Farm. Today is Sunday, October 23rd. I've been on and off working outside a little bit, just trying to get things cleaned out as much as I can. I've been just going around and mostly burning things in our burn pile. We have a burn pile back there, but I've also made one in the front as well. Just burning things like rotted out wood that we have just been saving, or like times when we take out posts and replaced it with the T-post. Just like rotted pieces and rotted posts and things like that, just burning that. The piece of wood that had come off of the pig pen when we had the hurricane, so I got that burned out. And a bunch of branches and just sticks and stuff that it's all over the grass. So right now the grass isn't growing much, but next time my husband does cut the grass, then there won't be any sticks in the way. Meat chickens, we're gonna get another set done on Monday. So we've already butchered some of them and have already met with our customers that were waiting on those. We still have one more customer that ordered 15 plus another one that ordered 10 after that person. And then after that I just have a couple smaller orders to complete. So these chickens, we're gonna try to do the 15 chicken order for tomorrow on Monday. My husband is off of his new job, so we'll have some time. We'll see how we feel if we can do more than 15, but I for sure want to knock out that $15 order. I have fertilized the fruit trees and I watered them. I've been watering them just so that they can soak up that fertilizer. And I was cleaning up here, so after I got done in the back, I was starting another burn pile up here for all of the branches that's just been laying around by the fence. Especially here, this is a dead tree that we have in our front yard. So anytime we get like gusty winds, all the branches keep falling off of it. I'm surprised this thing is still standing even after 2 hurricanes. It's been dead pretty much since we bought the property in 2016, and the majority of it comes down when we get heavy winds, like during a storm. So we've been cleaning up this, still have a little bit more to go, just dead branches and moss, and just cleaning it up so it looks nice and neat. And then as more pieces fall off of that, we will continue sticking it here in the burn pile. We've already made one burn pile before, and like through the summertime, and burnt it. Now we got the second one, so we got to do that just to keep things, like I said, we're slowly preparing and getting into the mindset of moving. And so we want to keep the property as clean and as good looking as possible so that we won't have too much work to do when it is time to finally list the house and take photos and all of that. I am still planting things in our garden. We went to our local feed store earlier today and I grabbed a couple more starters. So I've been planting, mostly focusing on this back garden because it's been such a big empty spot for so long. So I've been planting all my starters in there to try to get something harvested in there, and just trying to keep the gardens in clean in general, with the focus on the flower garden over here with the blueberry bushes, the back large garden that we have where I'm planting all my vegetable starters, and the small garden that we have next to our little red shed shop over there. Just mainly focusing on those 3 gardens, keeping the plot nice and clean and not letting it get overgrown with grasses or weeds. And then obviously maintaining our fruit trees, because we will not be taking the fruit trees with us when we move. So my goal is to just keep them as alive and healthy and happy as possible, so that they just continue to thrive and continue to grow really big and strong, so that whoever does move in here, they can continue caring for them, hopefully, and be able to harvest them in the years to come. So this is that back garden, and I planted some more starters. You cannot see them, but we have a couple things going on there. Collards, mustard greens, some summer squashes, some kales, stuff like that. We did notice a couple of our carrots started sprouting on this side, so we're gonna see what ends up sprouting here. If we have a lot of empty spots, we'll plant something else as well. So you can see the back of our property looks nice and clean. We have been picking up all the sticks and the branches and just getting it nice and tidy. Still got some work to do up here. After November 5th, so I scheduled one last open farm day for November 5th for my VIP groups. I have like a private group on Facebook for Our Vision Farm, and it's just people that have visited us really like a lot throughout the years while we did our open farm days all the time. And it's also family and friends on there. And what I'm doing is just one last open farm day because we're gonna really start downsizing on our farm animals after that farm day, November 5th. So after that, our plan is just to start getting rid of the animals little by little. Starting off, I know I want to sell the heritage breed turkeys for sure. We're not going to continue raising those because if we do happen to still be here by Thanksgiving next year, I really want to try the meat breed turkeys again. We had a bad experience with them the first year that we tried it, but I think we're a little bit more experienced in being able to catch like poultry diseases and stuff and being able to treat them before things get too bad. So I want to try them again. So I want to get rid of my heritage breed. We're not going to be taking those turkeys with us whenever we do move, so I might as well just go ahead and try to sell them off to people who are interested in raising heritage breed turkeys on their farm, because they won't be ready for processing. And well, they will be ready by next Thanksgiving, but I just found that this year we just didn't get the size that we really wanted. Our customers, you can tell they wanted bigger turkeys, and we didn't have a lot of interest in the smaller ones. We did end up selling them all, but I feel like if we would have had bigger turkeys, we actually did lose a couple sales because they were looking for bigger ones for bigger families. So we're gonna try that next Thanksgiving, God willing. I mean, if we're still here, I don't know if by then we'll be in the process of trying to get out of here and posting our house up for sale. So I want to get rid of the turkeys, and then that's going to free up a chicken pen that we have back there, and then the one in the front that's using up our hog panels. So that'll free that up. We're going to work on taking apart all our hog panels. See, I have some here. We're gonna get the sheep sold as well. So eventually we'll sell the sheep, we'll sell the ram, and I can free up these hog panels. We want to take down all the hog panels. They're kind of just spread out everywhere right now because we've been using them to patch up certain areas for our animals. But I want to definitely take those with us when we move. Like these things, we bought these. They're 50 inches long. I can't remember I think it's 60 inches tall, or that does not sound right. I don't know what the length was, but it goes from here. I think it was 50 inches long, but I don't remember the tallness. It's at least 4 feet tall because this goes to around my collarbone area. But we're gonna take them with us. We paid $24.99 for these maybe last year, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, I don't know, but we paid $24.99 for these, and we really like how sturdy and long lasting they are. And then I went on the website to see how much they are costing nowadays, and they've raised the prices to $38.99 per hog panel. So that is pretty crazy. I thought about selling them, to someone that might have a project to do, and I thought about just leaving them here, like redoing the animal pens for whoever does buy our property in the future. They can utilize them for their animals. But at that price, I'm definitely taking these with us, and I think they're going to be very useful for when we get ourselves settled in there. And we'll have these hog panels to do something with, whether we want to get our pigs first or whatever animal we get in our future property. We'll have I think we have like 9 hog panels, maybe 10. I know we ended up cutting some to make like doors out of, but that's still a lot of money if we had to start from scratch and buy it brand new in the new state. We also have a bunch of T-posts Most of them are being used over here for Boba's pen because she kept getting out and squeezing out through the bottom of the fence. So what we did is put T-posts really close together, and she hasn't been out ever since we did this. But we want to take all these T-posts. T-posts are a little bit cheaper, but this is not going to take up space like in our moving truck or whatever we rent to move. It's not going to take space at all, so might as well save ourselves the money. I'm not going to leave it here for anybody else. So the hog panels are coming with us. The T-posts are coming with us because I think those will be very useful. And then also like the random little greenhouse and the little coop that we keep the white Plymouth rocks. We're gonna break all that down and take it with us. And then for the bases, we're probably gonna try to redo this because it just looks ugly right now. I wouldn't want it to look like this when somebody is touring the property, somebody that might be interested in buying it. So I kind of want to redo it. We have a bunch of this fencing, the one that's behind the hog panel, the field fencing that we did our whole property line in. I have tons of those, well, like leftover from the when we used to put it in the back of the property when we had the sheep and cow back there. So I have tons of that material left. So I kind of just want to rip out what's here, maybe make it a little bit smaller so that it just makes one straight line. So whoever does get this property after us will already have like separate little paddocks, but it's gonna look overall neater, and we won't be leaving our more expensive hog panels behind. So if they want to do some type of other fencing when they get settled in, or they might not even want animals, it just depends, they can just make those changes. So we'll leave like the wooden posts up, and we will leave everything pretty close to as is, just make it a little bit more neat and not so patched up with all these different things because we kept having escapees. We'll let them figure that out, but this will look a lot neater and just kind of like just one main section that's split up into smaller little sections for different types of animals. We'll take down these old pallet doors that like all this is rotted out, so we'll take all that out and burn it, and then just leave it as an option for whoever comes here next. They'll build up their own doors depending on what animal they have. So that is what I want to do in the next few months for sure. We're going to be downsizing on animals. As we're downsizing on animals, I'll be able to fix up their pens because we can't really fix up their pens right now while the animals are still here. So like I wouldn't have anywhere to put the pigs while we redo all this, and that's pretty much it. Just making everything look nicer, even though once we get rid of the animals there's not going to be any need for the pens. I still do want to leave the pens as much as possible because it was a lot of work, and these wood posts were a lot of work and very expensive, and we are leaving them behind. And we're just trying to take anything that is useful to us but that won't be so bulky and take up the space that we need for moving. So Bubba here, I'm hoping to be able to sell Bubba and Boba, the female pig, together as a breeding pair. I'm going to have to find a home for Peanut the pig because we just discussed it, and it's just not going to be possible to take him with us wherever we're going to go. He's not just going to fit in the back of our car, and we have 4 dogs to move with us. We have Aspen that's coming with us. We have Ashley. We have Mammy over there, plus Bobo, the little dog. So that's 4 animals that we're going to take with us, and they're, besides Bobo, these are all large dogs. They're going to take up a lot of space, and there's just no point of working ourselves and stressing ourselves to try to take one pig with us. We're going to take Turbo the duck, and everybody else is literally going to go. We're going to get the sheep sold. I'm going to try to find a sanctuary or somebody who would take care of our pig Peanut. We're going to try to find a family that maybe is interested in raising the meat pigs, the pink ones. So we're going to get rid of the turkeys for sure. Mariah Silkies are going to go, and we're going to find someplace nice to take the parakeets. So that will just leave us with the dogs and the 1 duck. And then we're going to continue raising meat chickens all throughout the year as well, and until we really get close to looking for properties in the state that we're looking into, and until we get really close to listing our house for sale, we're still going to continue doing meat chickens for our customers. But we're pretty much going to take a whole year break from most of the animals, letting our land kind of repair itself a little bit. You can see our grass is almost gone. Now that the grass isn't growing in that much, the sheep are just eating it down to the roots. So we just need to let our land repair a little bit, but also not letting anything get overgrown to the point where it's not unrecognizable anymore. We still want it to look like what it is, like all the work that we've done. We still want that to show as soon as somebody takes steps into this property to visit it and hopefully buy it. So we're trying to improve how everything looks, maintain the work that we have done, like our gardens and just the pens that we've made, the coops that we've made, the bird aviary, just trying to keep everything in tip-top shape. Then once we get rid of the animals, all of this will grow back with grass. Everything will just overall look nicer. We're also working on house. Now that my husband started the new job, once we get a couple paychecks in and we catch up on bills, we're really going to focus on our house and getting a couple things fixed that we haven't got fixed in a while. Getting the outside of our house cleaned up, because we have the siding that kind of gets like algae. It's not really mold, but it's like the green algae that it gets just from being out in the elements. Trying to get that cleaned up, and any like internal repairs. And we don't have too much to repair out here. It's basically just the look of it. Like, I obviously don't want this to be like this when people come, and I don't want this to look so patched up with so many different materials. I just want it to be like one smooth fence, different animal paddocks, so it can look nice and neat. But everything else, our fencing is good, our gardens are there, we just have to keep them maintained. Nothing is too horrible out here. I've been burning all of the extra branches and stuff. We have to figure out how to throw out this pile of the rusted fence that we removed from our whole property. I gotta figure out like a dump or something that we can take that to, because that's just an eyesore as of now. And that is pretty much it. That is what I'm focusing on for this year. So after November, we will slowly start downsizing on the animals until we are left with just the dogs and the duck. It's gonna be sad to see, and the cats too. It's gonna be sad to see the farm animals go, but it's gonna be a nice break for us and a nice financial break, because we wouldn't have to spend so much on feed every single week. Plus, it'll give somebody else a head start or a boost in their homesteading dreams as well. Some of the sheep are already bred, so that'll be exciting for them to experience. And I mean, we've done it all. We've raised sheep on our farm, we've watched baby pigs be born, we've hatched chickens and hatched turkeys, we've processed birds, and we're excited to hand it down to somebody else. And then when we move in and settle into our property, we're also going to take a year break over there and just focus on the garden areas and the fruit trees that we're going to plant there, and eventually slowly work our way up to getting the animals that we want to raise over there as well. But we're definitely going to take our time on that part. So I think altogether we're going to probably have a 2-year break from all of the farm animals. But we're still going to be doing as much as we can. Like the meat chickens, we don't have to completely stop that operation yet, and we can still work on our gardens and try to grow things. And I want the gardens to look nice when somebody's touring the property as well, so I can't let those get abandoned. I want them to see the potential of the garden space. So just wanted to give you an update on everything that will be going on moving forward. It's almost the end of October, on to November. I got one last open farm day, and after that it is game time, trying to sell all these farm animals and also make some money as well and save money in feed costs. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this update, and stay tuned for all of the news, everything happening. I will definitely keep you guys updated when we do find the animals' homes, and the slow and steady just restoration of the land and getting our house fixed up and everything that we do along the way until the day that we sell the property. And I'm very excited for the day that we find our new property in the state that we have in mind. We have already settled on a state that we're very interested in. I will probably share that after we actually visit the state in person, because I'd like to do that just to make sure. I like to visit the state at least twice before actually looking for a house, so that we just know for sure how it feels once they're in person, not just in pictures. But that is the end of this video. I'll see you guys in the next one and keep you updated.